Alright guys, looks like we are live. Give me just a minute here to get out. Good afternoon, and it's a mostly cloudy afternoon here. Had quite a bit of rain going on a little bit earlier, but luckily that has appeared to stop. So the drive to the school today will at least be dry. Let me get out into the road here. We'll get our trip underway. Oh, slow electric scooter. This thing seemed too dangerous for me to ride. After the course of my 10 or 11 years here, I've been asked all kinds of questions. Some serious questions, some funny, some just straight up weird. So today I want to go over some of my favorite questions I've been asked over the years. About Filipinos and non-Filipinos. I mean, this place is always wrecked for traffic. So anyway, we'll start with some questions I get from non-Filipinos. Other foreigners back in their home country that they probably haven't traveled abroad yet. So one of the top questions is, do you live in a hut? No, I do not live in a hut. However, I wouldn't mind living in a nice nipa hut with a hammock right on the beach. That'd make for a pretty nice life. Alright, question. Isn't it dangerous there in the Philippines? Well, that really depends on your idea of dangerous. Do you consider eating too much lichen to be dangerous for your health? If so, then yeah, it can be pretty dangerous here. Our question, do you have internet? Well, yes, but sometimes the internet signal decides to take a coffee break or an extra long siesta. Our question, how do you handle the heat in the Philippines? Well, you handle the heat here with a lot of sweat, fans, and ice cold Red Horse. These are daily essentials for life here. Our question, do you plan to go back to the United States? Well, my answer to that is, have you researched or seen the cost of living here? Exactly. Our question, do they celebrate Christmas in the Philippines? Oh, buddy, that one. You have no idea. Christmas here is the longest celebrated Christmas season on the planet. It goes from October to about mid-January, or the first week of January. Really long Christmas season here. If you love Christmas, the Philippines is the place for you. Our question, can you buy normal food in the Philippines? Well, define what your version of normal is. If you mean like McDonald's and Pizza Hut, yeah, sure, it's everywhere. If you mean something like deep fried butter, yeah, you're probably not going to find too much of that here. Hey, AJ, I also drink hot coffee here on a hot day. Hot coffee wins every time. Alright, question. Do you ever feel like an outsider living in the Philippines? No, sometimes. But Filipinos are really welcoming. And they're really friendly. And they have a way of making you feel like you're not an outsider at all here. They make you feel like family, like you belong. Alright, question. What do you do all day? Well, I do pretty much the same thing you do all day. I wake up, have breakfast, take the kids to school, pay bills, run errands. But I do it with more mangoes, more fresh mangoes. Alright, then question. Aren't you worried about the typhoons? Typhoons are always a concern. We've had a few pretty good ones since I've lived here over the last 10 or 11 years. But me personally, I'm more worried about getting stuck in the city traffic. Or then question, do they speak English in the Philippines? Yes, English is widely spoken here. Sometimes their English is better than the people that ask me this question. And then this one always seems to come up. The question is, wait, do you get to ride elephants in the Philippines? No. Way wrong country. That would be Thailand. But I wish we had elephants here to ride. But in the episode of elephants, we have caravels here you can ride. And that is always a fun experience. Alright, now some questions I get from Filipinos and local people here. And the first question is, why are you here in the Philippines? Well, that's a pretty long story. But basically, I accidentally got lost and decided just to never leave. Okay, but jokes aside, I planned to come here and live before I actually came here. This is like my dream destination to come live in. Then after getting here, I really fell in love and decided there's no way in hell I'm leaving. It just is what it is. Alright, then question, do you eat balut? Well, I have tried to eat balut many times. But these days, I only try it when I'm peer pressured or when I've had a few too many red horses. You know, alcohol can make you try some pretty strange things sometimes. Peer pressure also. And then the next question is, do you speak Bisaya? Not really. I understand a bit, and I speak only gamay, only a little. And the next question, do you miss your country? Sometimes. I mean, we all get homesick sometimes. But have you seen the beaches here? Have you seen the mountains here? That's all I got to say on that one. And then this one I get asked really often. Why is your nose so tall? Or so pointed? I guess that's just genetics. I didn't order it this way. It's the way I was made. I have no idea why it's the way it is. Then, of course, the next question is, can you handle spicy food? Yes. I love to burn your soul and regret the rest of your life spicy food. But I don't choose it all the time. And then this one I get quite often, especially here in Mindanao. Have you tried durian? Yes, I've tried durian. And I love that stinky toe jam smelled masterpiece of a fruit. It's really delicious. But despite its smell, it is really sweet and really good. Alright, then here's the really big one. Do you sing karaoke? Well, singing karaoke is practically a visa requirement here in the Philippines. So I'll just leave it at that. Then I often get asked, especially when I'm out walking around, do you know how to ride a jeepney? Yes, I know how to ride a jeepney. I have mastered the art of squeezing into small, impossible areas. Now, riding a jeep's always fun. And that's me personally. I prefer the Jeep over any other transportation here in the Philippines. It's just so iconic and fun. It's loud, noisy, chaotic. And it can always be a very wild ride. And then the last one I get quite frequently from Filipinos is, how do you survive living here without snow? That one's really easy. I don't miss shoveling my driveway out at 6 a.m. to go to work. I don't miss the chattering teeth, the achy bones, the super early mornings getting up, freezing your butt off. I just don't miss it. I love the snow. I love looking at the snow. But I hate life in the snow. Yeah, there's been lots of other funny questions I get sometimes, especially from locals. Locals will go straight from hello, good morning, straight to the personal questions. You know, are you married? Why are you fat? Why are you so white? It just depends. But it's never meant in a rude way. It's just their curiosity. They want to know more about you. When they see you, they want to know all they can about you. And that's okay. I don't mind answering the questions. Although sometimes I can't answer it without laughing at the same time. It's just one of those things that makes living abroad fun. I mean, I'm sure you get, anywhere you go that you stick out, you'll get all kinds of random questions. I used to get lots of really fun questions also when I stayed in the Middle East, in Bahrain. The Indian workers there really love to chat. Especially when they get a beer or two in them. I'll be here also. A lot of times Filipinos will be kind of shy when it comes to speaking English or speaking to a foreigner. But if they've had a drink or two, all of a sudden they think they are professional English speakers, and they do their best. And I do my best to understand and try to answer, but it can really be hard to understand somebody, especially when they're drinking. I mean, it's all in fun, it's good. And I was the same way. Get a few drinks in me. I also think I can speak different languages at times. I guess we all do that. Just live in the moment and go with the flow, man. Go with the flow. I'm trying to think. I get asked a lot of questions also from foreigners about, about banking here in the Philippines or visas. Or these really crazy forms you have to fill out if you're on some kind of Social Security. Those questions are fine also. I always reply. Those are pretty important things that people need to know when they're moving here. Especially when it comes to your visa requirements. You don't want to screw your visa up. Especially if you plan on staying long term. But oddly, a lot of foreigners don't ask the important questions. Nobody ever asks, what is life really like here for a foreigner? And that's something you should really research before you move here. Don't just watch people's holiday or vacation videos or posts. They only show the beautiful beaches and the nice scenery. Sure, you have that also if you live here. But you look at what your daily life entails where you're living at now, and it will be pretty much the same here. You don't escape life no matter where you're living at. And that's where a lot of foreigners get in trouble when they move abroad. They think everything's going to be sunsets and sunrises, beaches, exploring. It very rarely works out that way. Of course, I get lots of those things also, but my normal, everyday, daily life is just taking care of normal life things. Grocery shopping, buying gas for the car, having car maintenance done, going to pay the power bill, taking the kids to school and picking them up. But unlike at home, I get to do all those things in a tropical setting. Which certainly improves my mood while doing all those things, but I still have to do those things. Even if they completely ruin my mood, you still have to do them. I was going through a lot of comments and stuff.